All right, so there you have it. Maui Mike says it doesn't look like $1 million. It looks like more like 750,000. And the gold standard is him back there at $1 million. Go get him, Maui Mike. Hey guys, you ever want to learn how to do tight edges without doing a lot of trimming underneath, getting a nice clean edge, and getting your corners wrapped? Stick around. Today I'm going to show you how I like to cut these edges on these hoods, or same thing if you're doing bulk installs on a fender, around doors. I'm going to show you how I cut them, and then how we use a propane torch to wrap these, and without having to do a lot of major cutting underneath when we're all done. All right guys, so one of the first things I do after I've laid a hood, I go around all the edges here and make sure that they're locked down with alcohol. You don't want to be able to pull this up and have it lift. And I take my scissors and run my scissors right along this edge here. And it gives you a nice, clean, uniform cut. And what I'm doing is I'm letting on this side, I'm letting this nut ride right along this edge, and it's giving me a nice little, kind of sticking here, it's giving me a nice little flap here to fold underneath there. So we'll go down to the center there like so, get that cut, and then here we'll take our knife and we'll make the same type of cut here along that with our knife, and just try to match that distance there. I'm going to try not to block you. Cut started, and I'm just bringing it here, and then when we get down here we'll make a little turn, and I'm going to let this ride along here. So when I get to this point here, I'll show you how we cut that and save you from having to cut underneath the hood one more time, or have a big flap of film to fold underneath and fight with. For edges along the side of the hood, I use the actual fender as a guide. So we've started this here when we made our turn, and now the knife is just riding right along on this fender edge. Just stick it out just a little bit more here, and it's just using that as a guide. And then we can pull this off here, like so. And now all we have left to wrap is this little bit of an edge here, and we'll open up the hood, but you can see how much there is, maybe less than 1/4 of an inch that'll wrap underneath. And once that's wrapped underneath there, it'll look nice and neat and clean. It's not a big overhang, but because we did it in bulk, that gave us the opportunity to pull this and stretch it how we wanted to, without putting our hands up here and trying to manipulate the film to go where we want to, running the risk of creating adhesive disturbances. The front, we can use the same process as the back if you have room for the scissors. If you don't, then you can use your knife. I have plenty of room here, so I'll use my scissors and run that right along there like so. And these scissors are nice and sharp. They do a good job. You can pick these up at like any fabric store. So we got a nice cut there. We may have to trim a little bit off this corner here once we wrap it, but you don't have to go around and retrim this whole hood. This section right here, we'll do the same thing we did with our knife along the side. We'll take and put our blade in here, I can get it to go. There we go. Blade's in there. And now I'm just bringing it around. And I've already checked to make sure there's not a gasket underneath there I'm cutting or anything like that. We can make a nice rounded cut here if we want. And just snip it off like that. Again, I'm just taking this and running it right along the edge here. And I've got this edge locked down, remember? All right, so when we get to a corner like this, and I'm kind of gonna try to do this one-handed because I've got my camera up as high as it'll go. So you're gonna heat the corner up, and you don't wanna wrap into the corner this way or this way. You wanna start the corner first and roll that around and then work your way out with the film like so. Going like that. And this will probably need a little more heat down here. And it's still, we've got a lot of moisture here, so we're still dealing with that. I'll show you how to trim this back so it looks nice and neat and clean. Get that wrapped under there. Get this wrapped all along here. So we'll grab our blade here, and instead of dragging the blade across it, we're going to find where this is just starting to wrinkle right there, and we're going to take our blade and just roll it. So kind of get it on the edge here, and we're just going to roll our blade like so. And now you've got a cut that goes in a nice arc all the way around that corner. If I can get this off. The heat really makes this stuff stick well. So we'll come back and we'll just kind of trim this flap up underneath here just a little bit. There is a slight little ledge underneath here, so we're riding right on the edge of that ledge. And then this right here, we've got just an ever so slight bit of fingering right here. And I can't get to that side of it, so I'm just kind of doing a blind cut here. Right to our edge where we rolled it. And it's stuck like a mofo there. There we go. So we got that edge done. And we just take and we're going to kiss that one more time with a little heat. Make sure it stays locked down, doesn't pop back up. And there you've got a nice clean corner and a nice clean edge. So instead of having a cutout on your corner where you would normally have a cutout going, starting probably right about here and cutting out and then coming back around, leaving this corner here exposed, you're wrapped all the way down right into the inside, right, we're actually right to there. So we're wrapped in there pretty good. Once this hood's closed, nobody's gonna see the edge, nobody's gonna see the corner. All right, so we're gonna wrap this edge right here. And one thing I didn't share with you guys was this glove that I have. It's called a ghost glove. And I like to use this when I'm wrapping edges, or if I'm post heating something and want to get something to stick inside of a valley of a bumper or something. But this glove just glides really, really nice across the film. And so you can take a little heat if you want and use this glove with some heat and get your film to lay really nice all down underneath here. And it just glides right along the edge. It doesn't hang up. You'll notice sometimes if you get film really hot, the glove or your finger will hang up and kind of pull the film and create these little fingers, and then in essence it will kind of ruin that edge there. So this doesn't ruin the edge. gives you the opportunity to really put some pressure on these along here and really get them to stick down. Okay, so we finished wrapping these edges here. I'll pull the camera in so you can check them out. They look really nice and really tight and really invisible. See if we can get a little focus on that. But the edge is just wrapped right underneath here, right along here, all the way down. And depending on the width of your gap down here will determine how much film's actually going to wrap around. But you don't need, you know, to have a ½ inch of film underneath here to get this all to stick. You know, the old school way was, you know, have an inch wrap or ½ inch wrap underneath here, and you have all this. And most guys don't trim it off. I get a lot of cars in from various shops for either you know, to have a panel replaced from a body shop or something. You can see up here, this is all laid down. We haven't laid this down over here. We're just doing this side here for the video for you guys, but this is all laid in here. This is actually metal right here, that's not film. We've got it all laid down in here. And it all looks, we'll get the glove in there so it'll focus, all looks really nice. And then from the top, you're not gonna see any notches here or over here. No notches, everything's sealed, covered, and ready to roll. Yeah, all right. All right guys, thanks for watching. I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, subscribe to the channel and we'll catch you on the next one.